welcome back to movement. Woo! All right, my name is Miss Madison. I use she, her pronouns, and we also have
Mr. Bryan, and my pronouns are he and him.
awesome. And friends, this is lesson 2 of our movement deep dive. All right, so into our first tool of an actor, our body. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So let's review all the 3 tools of an actor because we kind of use them for everything. Those are body, voice, and imagination. And obviously we are focusing on body, but it also affects our voice and it affects our imagination and all of those things. Let's check in. Show me a dance move that describes how you're feeling today. Nice. Oh, I love that. Ooh, ooh, that was nice. Okay. Great. It's good to share movement with your friends. All right. Last week we talked about the importance of movement in storytelling. We can use it to create characters. It's really good for nonverbal communication. We can use it in mask work. We can use it in so many ways. So now we're going to start digging a little deeper into all of these different movement, what we call techniques. All right. And so these were kind of thought up and then thought up by somebody and then developed over time as people kind of adapted to how they wanted to use those tools, those techniques. All right. So today we're going to focus on Laban, ooh, or Laban, or Laban. However you'd like to pronounce it. I think it's Laban. All right. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The first thing we're going to do, actually, before we warm up, all right, this is different. Whoa, even before we warm up, we are going to set up. I want you to do this every time you come to movement class now. We're going to set up our movement boxes. All right. So you need a little bit of space. You don't need a lot of space to do this. Yeah. I'm in like the corner of my very small room, right, with lots of things stacked up because some of you might know Miss Madison, very tall. All right. So we just kind of walk around your space a little bit and find literally you just need to be able to put your arms out, spin around. And I can't even put my full, wingspan out, but it's okay, friends. We're doing the best we can. So make sure you have your movement box, Mr. Bryan. You got your movement box, your play space? Yes, awesome. All right, friends, make sure you have yours as well. If you need to pause the video, move some stuff around, move your computer, anything. And the great thing about doing this asynchronously is we can't see you. So you don't have to worry about the angle of your computer as long as you can see and hear me. Okay, cool. So we've set up our movement space. Let's take a breath in our movement space. Nice. All right, and now we are going to warm up, focusing on our body. So here we go. Reach, stretch up to the sky, stretch. Get as tall as you possibly can. Get up on your tippy tiptoes, and drop your heels, and your hands, or your fingers, and your hands, and your elbows, and your shoulders, and your head, and you're gonna drop all the way down. Can you touch your toes? Fall wherever you can touch, and then you're gonna slowly on the count of 5 roll back up. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Deep breath in again, and you're gonna grab your left wrist with your right hand, and you're gonna gently lean over to the right side, opening up. This is what we call our side body. Why? Because it's on the side. People are clever. People are very clever. All right, and now grab your right wrist with your left hand and open up your right side body. Why is it called the right side body? Because it's the right side of your body. All right, nothing tricky here, nothing tricky. All right, deep breath in. Let's do a big fake yawn. Very nice. Let's do one more of those. That felt really good. Widen your legs a little bit, widen your stance. Really get nice and heavy. Deep breath in. And a big fake yawn. Awesome. Good job. All right. Take your right arm, cross it across your chest, and spray your neighbor with some water. Nice. And switch. And spray your neighbor. Awesome. Take your arm over your chest, or take your arm to give yourself a pat on the back. take your other arm, gently, gently, gently with your elbow. Nice. Someone recently told me that they called this the SpongeBob because it's like, okay. I don't know if that was SpongeBob left. I've never seen the show. All right, and switch. And switch. But the musical was really good. I don't know if anybody. SpongeBob musical. Really good. Highly recommend. All right. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Wonderful. You're going to take your hand. You're going to grab your foot if you can get there. And you're going to gently pull your leg back like a flamingo. Can you see me? Like a flamingo. There we go. If you need to grab onto a wall or something, please do so. Don't fall. Stop falling. Okay. And switch. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Maybe next week I will have some music. All right. Awesome. Deep breath in. Let's do one more of those big fake yawns. Make it the biggest, fakest, loudest fake yawn you've ever done. Nice. All right. Now you're going to give me 5 of the weirdest, most bad looking jumping jacks you've ever done in your life. 5 crazy jumping jacks. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's do 5 more. All right, here we go. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Mr. Bryan, those jumping jacks were crazy. I loved them. Alrighty, friends. Now it's time to put on our glasses and our tweed jackets and our berets for our boring history lecture. Just kidding, it won't be boring. And it'll be really short. All right, here we go. Le Bon. The Le Bon movement analysis. Fancy words. The Le Bon movement analysis was developed by this dude, Rudolph Le Bon. All right. I picked this photo because what's he doing in there? What's going on, Mr. Le Bon? Ooh, it rhymed. Okay. This is Rudolph Le Bon. And Le Bon actually started this movement analysis because he was a choreographer. A choreographer is somebody who makes up dance moves and puts them on dancers. All right. And so he was trying to come up with a new way to figure out like new dance moves and new ways that we could move. And so he was like, how do we move? How do we move? And what he figured out was that basically all movement could be, and this is his theory, all right, so this might be different. He figured out that all movement could be broken down into 4 categories, all right, into 4 categories. So we're going to look at those now. Le Bon, effort, actions, fancy words, but stick with me. Here we go. So the 4 categories are the 4 words at the top of this little chart. The first one is weight, all right? And there are 2 types of weight, heavy and light, all right? The second one is space. I also like to call this one focus, yeah? And that is direct versus indirect. And I'm just going over this. We'll get to play with it in a second. The third one is time or tempo, quick or slow. And the fourth one is the kind of weird one. It's energy, or what other people might call flow. And that is bound versus free. We'll get into that in a moment, okay? So let's play with these. Stop share. Alrighty, friends. So find your movement box. And you're gonna walk around your space. Just walk around. Totes neutral, dude. All right. So we're walking around our space. We're walking around our space just like you would. I'm going a little fast, so let's slow down. Just like you would be walking down the street. All right. The first category we are going to play with is weight. All right. I want you to start walking very heavy. Very heavy. Now, weight doesn't have to do with literally how much you weigh. It's not the literal thing. It's how you're moving, right? because a very big person can move very light, and very small people can move very heavy, right? So don't get too focused on heavy versus light. All right, it's how you're moving, yeah? So how you're moving. When I'm moving heavy, how does it feel if you put just the heaviness in your shoulders? Ugh. And now you're kind of your butt area, your pelvis, all right? How does it feel to have a heavy butt? Okay. All right. And now put the heaviness in your knees. Oh my goodness. Oh. All right, Mr. Bryan, how does moving in this heavy fashion make you feel?
Tired.
Tired, yeah. Kind of makes me feel
Yeah.
like just, I don't know, yeah, like not into it. All right, now I want us to let that go. Back to neutral. My back to neutral sound. All right, and now I want you to move super light. Super light. You're very light. Ooh. What does that mean? To move light. How does this make you feel, Mr. Bryan?
Oh, this makes me feel so relaxed and free.
Yeah, very nice. Moving light. Moving light. Ooh. 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 Okay, nice. Let that go. So that is weight, yeah? Heavy versus light. All right. The second thing that we're going to play with is space or focus. All right. This is the direction of where you're going. So I want you to move as though you're late for something. And, well, sorry, no. I want you to move as though you have a place to be, you want to be on time, and you know exactly how you're going. It's called direct. Yeah. How does it look to move direct? Mr. Bryan, how does this make you feel?
It makes me feel like it makes me feel rushed.
Yeah, like kind of rushed. Maybe you're like a business person. All right, and now you're gonna do the opposite, okay? You have a place to be. You're not worried about getting there quickly, and you don't quite know where you're going, right? This is indirect. And feel how different it feels from direct. This makes me feel like I'm a little bit like sleepy, like almost kind of not awake yet, like ooh, like when you're just getting out of bed. Mr. Bryan, how does this make you feel?
This makes me feel scattered.
Yeah. Friends at home, how do you feel? Beautiful. All right, let that go. Back to neutral. The third thing we're going to play with is time or tempo. All right. And that is quick. So move quickly. And now move really slowly. Nice. If you're a musician, you may have heard the terms staccato and legato. Yeah. Staccato means really short, really fast. Legato means very long, very sustained. Okay. So those are time. So we have, let's review, weight, space, and time. Weight, we have, what are the two weight actions, Mr. Bryan?
The two weight, light and heavy.
Yeah, good job. And how about space?
Space would be direct and indirect.
Nice. And time?
Slow, fast.
Nice. All right. Poor Mr. Bryan, the only student in movement class that I can pick on. All right, friends at home, hopefully you got those as well. The last one is the little bit abstract one, all right? And it is energy, or some people might call it flow. But let's focus on energy, okay? I want you to start moving like you are being bound by something. Bound means you're restricted, you're like tied up, bound. Start trying to move like you are bound. Bound. Ugh. Like it's difficult to move, right? Mr. Bryan, how does this make you feel?
Makes me feel like almost like stuck, like quicksand almost.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And then, so remember this, bound, okay? And then the other energy, what's the opposite of bound? Free. Yeah, free, totally free. Move like your energy is totally free. Nothing is holding you back. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Very nice. This makes me feel, well, I'll call it what it is. It makes me feel free. All right, cool. So we have weight, we have space, we have time, we have energy. Those are the four. I'm going to put up our thing again. All right, to remember multimedia. Okay, there's little Laban and his little contraption. I'm sure it was very scientific, whatever he was doing. But here we go. Laban, effort, action. So we have these four, and now we've played with them a little bit. We kind of get to know them. So weight, space, time, and energy. Heavy versus light, direct versus indirect, quick, slow, bound, free. Friends, whew, this seems like a lot of words already, right? But if you think about it, these are just the different ways that we can walk and move around. Yeah, so don't get too caught up in like memorizing these things. It's more just kind of remembering how they feel. Yeah, how they feel. And how they make you move, how you can create characters with them. All right. So now we're going to play with combining those things. All right. So we see we have punch. Yeah. And I'm going to leave this up. We have punch. Punch combines heavy movement, direct movement, quick movement, and bound movement. So let's try that. Everybody move around. Let's go back to our neutral walk. Now you're going to walk with a punch. Yeah. And you can literally be punching. You can literally be punching, but how would it feel to punch with your knees? How would it feel to walk with your knees in a punch? Yeah. Remember, it's heavy. And how about your feet? Stomping into the ground. But it's quick. Yeah. Nice. All right, cool. Now pause. Now we're just going to change one thing about punch and turn it into press. All right. Try to see for yourself on the thing. Which thing are you going to change to turn it into press? You're going to change your timing. Yeah. So punch is quick, right? Boom. Press is slow, heavy, direct, and bound, but slow, like you're pressing into something. So I want us to walk now with a press. Mr. Bryan, what kind of characters might walk with a press? Mr. Bryan, you're on mute.
Sorry, I maybe like a giant.
Yeah, like a giant. That's cool. All right, awesome. Let's keep moving on. Now we're going to change. We're going to go back to quick, and we're going to change our space to indirect. All right. So punch and press have so far been direct. Slash is indirect. All right. So now walk with a slash. What does that look like? And make it really big. Make it, let's say this is like a 6, make it a 10. Maybe you like to add your own sound effects like Miss Madison does.
Slash.
Now,
Slash.
take that slash, and make it a 1. What does a 1 slash movement look like? Because then you kind of get into like how a character might actually move, right? If you make it that small, it's human again, you know, or animal, humanoid, whatever you want to say, right? Like slash. I feel like somebody who doesn't, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Yeah. Then you can start to add dialogue to all these things. Let that start to create your characters. I don't want to be here. Nice. All right, Mr. Bryan, get ready because I'm going to make you do some dialogue in a moment. Let's keep moving on, friends. Number 4. And friends, obviously, I'm moving through this super quickly. All right. So if ever you're like, whoa, Miss Madison, I'm not done, pressing yet. Right? Pause the video, work in your press, and then keep moving on. All right. But for this video, we're going to move on. We are going to go to ring. Ring is heavy. So think all four first. Let's build them on top of it. Heavy. Ugh. Indirect. Okay, we don't really know where we're going. Slow and bound. What does it look like to move in a ring? And remember, W-R-I-N-G, right? Like you're wringing out a towel. Like when you have a wet towel and you want to get all the water out of it, you wring it out, right? So what does it look like to do that, but in your whole body? Ooh. And make it a 10. Really wringing out. Oh, Miss Madison is crunchy today. All right, wringing it out. Ooh. Wringing it out, and start to make it a little bit smaller. Bring it into kind of a like a human vibes. All right. Oh, but you have that same energy of wringing it out. All right, Mr. Bryan, whenever you're ready, you're gonna, whatever piece of dialogue, whatever piece of line, character line is gonna come out of you when you're in your ring.
So after mile 9, we're almost done.
Nice. And now, friends, I want to pause because I was kind of feeling like, I don't know, like kind of like a frustration, like I didn't have dialogue yet, but Mr. Bryan's was like an athlete, you know, running the, I guess not a marathon if you're doing only 9 miles, but so you can see that even with the same movement, the characters can still be totally different. All right, cool. Now, so those are all, and I did this in this particular order. Those are all the bound energies, right? Now, Miss Madison's favorite, we get to move free. So let's go dab. Dab is light, and now, friends, this is pre. Look how old this man and photo are. Not this dab, yeah? That's not what we're talking about. Though that dab is, it's a dab movement, right? It is light, it is direct, it is quick, it is free. All right, but so let's take
this.
This
is the Larry Labin dab.
Yeah. So let's take that dab and let's put it in our whole body. All right. So we're moving. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We're light. We're direct. Ooh, we're quick, and we're free. Dab, 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 dab. Very nice. Ooh, ooh. But remember, you're direct. Sometimes I get in my head a little bit, and we'll get to that later. Now I'm going to come up with some dialogue. All right, so we're making it, so put dab at a 10. And now bring it small, make it a 5. Ooh. And now bring it down to 1. Miss Madison's having way too much fun. All right, bring it down to 1. Moving our bodies is super, super fun. Ooh. Now you're in a 1. And I'm feeling very super model E. Fetch me my scarf. All right, that's my dialogue. Nice, let that go. Ooh, Miss Madison had way too much fun with that. All right. What's next, Mr. Bryan? Glide. So what are we changing? Light, direct. Oh, we're changing the tempo. It's going to be slow. So same thing as a dab, but slow. What does that look like? Well, it looks like a glide. Show me what a glide looks like. Glide. But you're still direct. Remember, friends, the free energies, there still are direct movement or efforts. Yeah. Very easy to get caught up in like, ooh, free. All right. But remember, still direct on dab and glide. Still direct. Nice. Make it a 10. Make it a 10. Okay. Still direct, Miss Madison. Still direct. All right, now bring it down to human levels, a 1, perhaps 2 or a 3. And Mr. Bryan, I'm going to ask you for dialogue.
Good evening, good evening.
Nice, nice. I think Mr. Bryan and I
Lovely.
we're at the same party. We're at the same glide party. Join us, won't you, friends? Alrighty. 2 more. Let's do a 5-second wiggle break. Here we go. Ready? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And back to neutral. Whew, my downstairs neighbors might hate me. That's okay. Here we go. Penultimate flick. So what are we changing? We're still light. We're still free. We are quick and we are indirect. All right. So flick. What does a flick look like? Now this is where we get to be indirect. Miss Madison's favorite. Flick. What does it look like to flick just with your elbows? All right, now make it a 10. Make it a 10. Flick, 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 flick. Ah. Oh, I'm getting winded. All right, and now bring it down to human levels. Human levels, Miss Madison. Flick. Oh, I'm feeling like I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm running late. I'm running late. And Karen's going to be mad at me. That was my flick dialogue. All right. Friends, I really, really hope you are creating some of your dialogue. And if you want to do any videos of anything, please send them to us. I would love nothing more. Make Miss Madison's day. Share your Le Bon dialogue. All right. Last one, friends. Ooh, float. Okay, so we got light. We got indirect, we got slow, and he's free. Okay, so light, indirect, slow, free, float. Yeah, here we go. Floating, make it a 10, make it a 10. Floating, floating. Get your whole body involved. Make sure your whole body's involved. That's why we stood up. That's why we have our movement box. Ooh, yes, baby. Floating, floating, floating. And now bring it down human levels, down towards a 1. And Mr. Bryan, dialogue whenever you're ready.
I don't care how far this raft floats out. This weather is wonderful.
Nice. All right. Whoosh, back to neutral. So friends, that was a very quick little really obsessed with that noise today. Sorry. Really just a quick little look at each of those Le Bon effort actions. All right. So don't worry about the dude in the box. Worry about the 4 ways or the 4 categories of movement: weight, space, time, energy. Once you start playing around with those, then you get to punch, press, slash, ring, dab, glide, flick, float. Yeah, we should come up with like a song to remember all those. But you don't have to remember them. Here we go. Alrighty, friends. As our closure today, I would like us to chat a little bit about where you think you naturally kind of, oh, sorry, I want to say one more thing before we go like that. If you want to get really crazy, friends, if you're like, Miss Madison, Le Bon, I got it, okay? Rudolph who? More like me, okay. If you're like, this is beginner stuff, fine. Can you start to combine punch and dab? Can you start to combine glide and ring? Yeah. How does that change up your movement? All right. That's the advanced course. Okay. Cool. So now for our closure, I want us to chat a little bit about how or where what effort action we kind of find ourselves naturally moving in on a daily basis. So just like walk like you're neutral. Walk in your neutral and start to notice like I'm kind of feeling like my neutral is a little bit of a dab, and a little bit of a, definitely have some bound energy. So like maybe a dab and a press. I think that's kind of my vibe. Mr. Bryan, what effort actions do you find yourself like most naturally moving in?
I'm trying to remember the specifics, the dab, punch, all those.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I feel right now, heavy, a little indirect, free, and slow.
Nice. So you're in a float,
Uh,
Mr. Bryan, floating around. All right, friends, what are you? All right. Great, friends. That is it for our movement today. Let's check out about how we're feeling. What effort action are you feeling like? I guess this is kind of what we just said, but what effort action are you feeling like right now? Where's your energy? I'm feeling like a flick. What are you feeling, Mr. Bryan?
I'm feeling like a float.
Whee! Okay. Great, friends. We'll see you next week for some more movement. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Gonna stop the